you do want to explore those connections. You don't know when a kiss off is coming. Like one thing about Danny, she'll pop up and be like, boom, kiss off.
Well, Callum, thank you so much for taking time to speak with me today. Hot off the heels of the finale, how are you feeling now that everything from the Italy side of things has aired?
Hi, thank you for having me. I think yeah, I'm like loving it all. Like I love watching it back. Obviously, where it was filmed like quite a while ago, it's good to watch it back and actually like remember some of the conversations that were had in detail. And yeah, I'm very much enjoying it.
Absolutely. And, you know, you're one of two couples that ended the show committed. And I know we can't speak about where things are at now. So when I sort of refer to that, well, that will be up to sort of the final day of the Masseria.
Yeah.
But when you were cast on the show, did you ever expect that you would leave, hopefully, like, obviously that's the goal, but did you expect you could leave with a boyfriend?
Do you know what? I wasn't too sure. I really wanted to kind of go in like with no expectations. Of course, the goal is to look for love and also friendship as well. There's so many things that you can get from the show. So I was definitely happy with how the journey went. And yeah, I think going in with no expectations that way, you can kind of take it as it is.
I think one of the best places to start is that final kiss off because I feel like that one had so much more anxiety to it than the rest of the season, just solely because family and friends were in the audience.
Yeah, of course. Yes, I mean it's kind of like it's a big thing to do anyway. And then there's your friends and family, other people's friends and family, and Danny Minogue and everything. So it is it was a crazy one for sure.
Were you anxious at all that Jordan wouldn't turn for you? How were you feeling in that moment?
Yeah, I mean, I was slightly anxious because look, you never know, and obviously we had I'd obviously just met Jordan's dad and stepmom, and then after that we're split up. Like we're put in separate rooms. We don't see each other till the next day. So I didn't even know what his family thought of me or what they had said. So you don't know what's going to happen the next day. So I was definitely anxious. Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that aspect that they would have gone away, and that didn't even cross my mind. But that is so scary.
Yeah, like it's such an added pressure. It's given like a wedding day, like
Yeah,
when you're
it
getting
was
married and
very
you just haven't
wedding.
seen them before. Yeah.
Well, look, something about this season, which I think was different to season one, is it moved really, really quickly in terms of how people would maybe shift who they were with, who they were interested in. And that's not a bad thing. I just think on this season, there was a lot more confidence in people saying, you know what, I'm going to explore this, see what happens. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So, you know, in your case, you went in, obviously, slightly later, not really that late, but slightly later, and you kind of meet Jackass. And then eventually you end up with Jordan. Can you talk a little bit about sort of the speed at which things move in the Masseria and how you found sort of adapting to who you were sort of trying to explore a connection with each day?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, the speed definitely moves quick as to how it much quicker than how it would in like a normal outside dating situation. But obviously time is not of the essence. And obviously you just want to be open and honest with everyone. And also you do want to explore those connections. You don't know when a kiss off is coming. Like one thing about Danny, she'll pop up and be like, boom, kiss off. So like you don't know. So you really have got to explore those connections. And obviously coming in late, Jack did get the key to the secret garden. So that was the first person I met. And yeah, like we got on really well and we explored that connection. There wasn't a connection there. And then I did have a little I was interested in Ruben. There was a little bit of something there. There also wasn't a connection there. And then obviously eventually I came to Jordan. And then that's kind of how that happened. But you've just got to be in there. I think you've got to be open and honest and you've got to explore connections when you can because you don't want to. What if you miss something and then you kick yourself and then they go home and then let's kiss off, you know?
And in terms of the joining late aspect we just touched on, you know, you didn't join late in the same way as some of the others because I think I don't know exactly how long it was, but it seemed like it was maybe within a day or two of the actual show beginning. How did you find sort of the response from the boys? Did you find that they were sort of already I don't know. I hate this. Oh my god, not me about to say this. Booed up.
Booed up is
You know, I'm not me
crazy.
saying booed up. No, listen.
Booed up.
But do you know, I mean, I can't think of another term, so I'm sorry. I'm just going to go with it. But did you find that people were kind of like open to exploring with you, basically?
Yeah, well, I think what I was quite lucky with, yeah, obviously I did come in late, but essentially I came in on like the end of the first day. So all of the boys had been in there for not too long, so no one's really booed up, should we say? No one's really booed up. So I had a very warm reception. The boys were lovely, and yeah, everyone seemed open. I will say, apart from Jazz and Aaron, they seemed very locked in from the beginning, which we love.
Yeah, and here we are. We know how that sort of ended by the end of the show. So it's
Exactly. So Jazz and Aaron off the cards, but that's bestie anyway. And then yeah, so it was a very warm welcome, and I think there kind of was no like crazy loyalties between matches at that point.
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, it seemed like certainly for when Justin, Hugh, and Bracker joined, it seemed like their role was a lot more, and Alex as well, actually, one of like disrupting, if you like, because at that point, people are potentially in that position. Whereas I think you had the advantage of, I mean, you pretty much were an original cast member just a
Yeah.
few hours later.
Yeah.
So it's
Just a
like,
bit late,
it's
always
like
late to the
late.
party.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, it's like your flight could have been delayed, Carl. Do you know what I'm saying?
Very that.
And something about this season, especially that has been so good, but all three seasons of the Kister Someone franchise, is all of them have explored really meaningful discussions and really authentic representation of the queer community, because so much of what's out there about us is negative or focuses on things like homophobia and negativity. But this show has really shown like uplifting, meaning conversations. What has that been like for you as someone on the show to see how well received it's been and how moved people have been by it?
Yeah, it's been amazing, especially from the sense that I think, like, yeah, technically it is a dating show, but if you strip it back, it's actually so much more than that. It's about gay and queer love and celebration. And I think I remember from watching the show, even the first season, I really saw that. But actually being a part of it and being there and feeling that safe space and all that love is amazing. And being able to watch it back, it's just like, it's just great. I think it's definitely something that I needed, and I think a lot of other people need and can feel, content and happy watching that.
When it ended, like filming wise, before anything had aired or you'd seen any footage, did you feel that about it? Like, were you like, this is something really special? How were you feeling when it ended?
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think when it ended, it was a weird one because I knew it all felt so special, but I didn't realize that I needed to be a part of it. I didn't realize that that part of me was kind of missing. Like, I didn't really have many gay or queer friends. I'd never really been in such like a safe celebratory space, but I didn't realize I hadn't been in that space until leaving it. And I think I left like I think it definitely like changed my life in a lot of ways, like in terms of how I see myself and how I feel. So it was great.
Yeah, because it sounds like what you're kind of saying is even if obviously you've got the best case scenario of leaving with someone, but even if that hadn't happened, it sounds like you've actually got a really good group of friends from it. That sounds like.
Yes, definitely. Like the friendships from the show that I've made are amazing. Like having those gay and queer friends, it's just something that I always needed, and now I have that. It's like I feel complete. Tick another thing off the list.
Have you learned anything from watching yourself date on TV? Because I can imagine that's a very unique experience.
Yeah, it is. You know what? Something I realized watching back is that I noticed I'm actually like very like honest and kind of straightforward in my approach and how I feel, which is good. I was happy to see that, I was being honest and upfront. Because when you're dating, it's one thing like actually dating being in the moment and then another thing like watching it back. I kind of thought I might find it a bit cringe, but I actually enjoyed watching it back. So I'd say yeah, I'm quite honest and direct. It's something that I learned.
I know you can't give much away, but obviously you've just recently filmed the reunion, which is coming next week. You filmed that quite a while after finishing the show. So what was that like for you, just to sort of be around everyone talking about the show again?
Yeah, it was great to be back because we're like quite a lot of the boys are from different places. It's very rare that all of us are actually together. Obviously, you've got the London boys, the Northern boys, and some people are scattered off further. So it was nice for us all to be back together, and also like we've all just been watching the show together, so we're still on that high and reliving those memories at home watching. So being back with everyone, it was really nice.
I love that. And what can we expect from the reunion again? I know you can't give much away, but how would you
Mhm.
summarize it?
Yeah, so no spoilers. But with the reunion, I think you can expect very much like as we've seen on the show. I mean, look, there's lots of emotions, there's some drama. The reunion is definitely going to be a good one to watch, and I think how you've been feeling watching the show, you're going to feel that at the reunion times 10.
I love that. And then Callum, what's next for you? Now the show's coming to an end. What are you hoping to achieve now that you've been on it?
I am just taking everything in, taking in all the love, taking in all the support, enjoying everything that's going on. Went to Hoopla, all these kind of things, amazing. And I'm just carrying on doing me, and just seeing where everything goes.